So I finally get to meet the courier who's accomplished so much in so little time. That's why I summoned you here, right?
Oh, you know it, Big Daddy Caesar. I'd do anything for you, sugar. Now, because that intro was pretty vague, I'm going to explain this in simpler terms. This is, can you beat Fly New Vegas as Caesar's lapdog? So that means I must help the Legion in every way I can, I must never help the NCR, and I, at the end, eventually ended up killing almost every single NCR personnel I came across. And that also means I can only use weapons, armor, and gear that the Legion would use. But that does also include the subsections of armor and weapons that they use. For example, I end up using the Power Fist and Broad Machete for most of the run, and although I'm not entirely sure that they actually use those weapons, they do use machetes and displacer gloves, which can repair the latter too, so that means that it would generally be accepted. So without further delay, let us begin. I start absolutely every run just like everyone else, by waking up in Doc Mitchell's stanky old medical hut, and by choosing my name and my face and my special stats. My name was originally going to be Rangatarius of Australis, but that was too long for the game, so I decided to just settle for Rangatarius, to obviously go with my stanky Rangarls. If I was going to be Caesar's left-hand man, then I would have to be as fearsome as I could be. And let me tell you something, nothing scares people like a big nose that could make a Jewish person cry. I then proceeded to walk around for maybe 5 minutes because I thought I was too fast for my own good. I was actually just a regular amount of fast, and then I decided to pick my special stats. I decided to have 10 strength so that I was obviously as strong as possible and could carry as many things as possible, which would be very useful with so many weapons being used, because, well, you know, hacking and slashing. And 3 perception because I wasn't really going to be doing much in the way of perception. 10 endurance for as much health as possible because I was going to have, just like in my last video, shit for armor until I actually got something decent. 2 charisma because I would rather let my fists do the talking. 4 intelligence because, well, you know, don't really need much XP when I can just get perks that will increase it for me. And also, you know, Caesar's Legion members aren't really any good on their own. 8 agility because I was going to need to have as much AP as possible down the track so that I could wham and slam my way through the toughest of enemies. And 3 luck because I didn't just want to waste maybe 20 minutes in the casinos again, and it didn't seem much like a Caesar's Legion member to use all of their time in the casinos. I eventually sat down on Doc Mitchell's crusty old couch, and chose melee weapons, survival, and unarmed for my trait skills, obviously because they were going to be the most useful for my run, considering it was going to be mostly unarmed in melee combat. I then took Built to Destroy and Heavy-Handed for my traits, because Built to Destroy will give that extra critical chance, and that will offset the downsides of Heavy-Handed, which is always good for unarmed runs. And after looting everything in Doc Mitchell's house, I took the first whiff of vitamin D I'd gotten in, I'm gonna say, a couple months. Doing what most people do in a normal run, I bargained with Chet, shot bottles for Sunny's smiles, and also killed Ringo. And upon attacking Goodsprings, to my surprise, I almost one-shot all of the NPCs. I don't know if that's just because the Broad Machete's good, or if I'm really strong. Oh, and also Trudy's head was on its way to becoming a perpetual motion machine, but unfortunately decided to give up on its dreams and just become a regular disembodied head. How curious though. And on my way out of Goodsprings, I butchered Easy Pete before he could restart his scavenging business. And the reason why I didn't do the Blackburn shortcut was because I was going to Prim and then to Nipton, and oh, it's you.
Yeah! Who won the lottery? I did!
Oh, but don't worry, he's dead now. I made sure of that. I then promptly informed the ferry that I would in fact tell all the nearby NCR troops about his escapades with him and his merry band of men, and how he burnt down an entire village to the ground. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time to get that out of my mind. After that side quest, I had enough XP to level up to level 4, and decided after much deliberation to take the educated perk just for some more skill points down the track, considering my intelligence is so low. I then gave in and did the Black Mountain shortcut just for time-saving reasons, but not before marking Hidden Valley along the way and killing some bark scorpions just for the extra XP. Now in this next part, I cannot stress how long it took me to do this. So you know, after you do the Black Mountain shortcut, usually you've already picked up the NCR Trooper armor, and then you make your way roughly to around McCarran Railroad so that you can get into the strip without paying the fee, right? Yeah, well, I was trying to do that glitch. We stand on a dropped piece of armor or clothing, and then you kind of hop onto an invisible barrier, and then hop onto the railroad, and then jump onto the train car, and then into the train car so you can get to the strip. Very complicated, but just stay with me here. I tried for so long to do this, but it just kept failing. I was almost at the brink of insanity. That's how many times I failed. I was almost ready to rage quit, but I got there in the end, and it was all worth it. But please, for your sanity and mine, just be careful out there, and look up a tutorial. Once again, my eyes made me more powerful by scanning a certain human's face, and I leveled up to level 5. I decided that I would let Benny go as he would be heading to the fort, which would be my next location, coincidentally. And then as I exited the tops, I saw the furry make it a beeline for me, but before he could get to me, the NCR trooper beat him to it. Serves you right, Volpes. On my way to the fort, I leveled up to level 6 and took Old World Gourmet, and then I happened upon a campground as I saw a couple of Legion soldiers heading by, and then out of the blue raiders came and attacked me, and I thought for sure they would help me, but oh no, I guess they just didn't feel like being conroverous today. Eventually arriving at the fort, I finally got to wear the first bit of armor for this playthrough. Just a scummy little recruit set, but you know, anything's anything. But that armor was going to come in use almost immediately because Kaiser sent me down there with the platinum chip to destroy all the Securitrons. And let me just say, Mr. House was angry. Yeah, but you won't get to see me destroying the bunker because I lost the footage. Yep. Before I would go and kill Mr. House like Caesar wanted, I decided I'd just run some errands for some of the minor Legion members. And so I decided to help out, what's her face, the spy lady for the NCR, quote-unquote, who was actually feeding it to us. So I killed all the thugs that were trying to attack her, and I set her straight on the right path. And then to help out Captain Curtis, I framed and killed Private Crenshaw. Continue, I would just like to please ask if you all could like and subscribe and comment any recommendations for anything. All kinds of feedback is welcome. I know it's cliche, but it really helps. My last video got almost 1,000 views in less than a week, which may not seem much compared to a lot of other people, but to me that is huge. So thank you, and let's continue. After blowing up the NCR's monorail, I hit level 9 and just took some unimportant skills. And then I went to go do the Boomers quest line. Now, I'm not going to stretch you for all the details because I'm pretty sure we all know how it went, but pretty much nothing uninteresting happened other than trying to level up to get a high enough repair skill, which involved me finishing off the whole Prim quest line and getting a mayor, and doing the Lucky Old Son quest and killing all the NCR, and among other things. Oh, and also Mr. House is dead, but I lost the footage, so... Oh, and I also finally leveled up to level 10 so I could increase my repair skill so I could finish off the Boomer quest. And also I took Stonewall just for some extra padding. But what you didn't know is that the defense system in the tower so you can activate the laser was still active because I had used a stealth boy to get there through first, but I didn't have one on the way back, so I had to eat all of my food and then save and hope I could get through. But I kept dying, and so I actually had to end up using the wiki so that I could see what weapons the Legion uses in hopes that I had a gun on me that I could use. Turns out I did in the form of the weathered 10mm, which is close enough to the 10mm. So I ended up eventually getting through and shooting them all. After finally having enough repair skill, I fixed the arrays, and then I raised the bomber from the lake, and well, we all know how that goes. With the boomers on my side and the Legion's howitzer operational, the only thing left, apart from killing the president, was to try and convince the White Gloves to join my club. Well, shit. Infuriated after failing my task, I went to the arena to fight Ranger Stella, who was apparently the best fighter around, but honestly all she did was just delay the inevitable. I finally upgraded my armor to the Centurions from the safe house, and I was ready to go. So I headed to the Ranger outpost, and I showed the NCR what's what. After that, Caesar ordered me to go destroy the Brotherhood of Steel, and well, I'll just show you how that went. Basement dwellers destroyed, it was finally time to fix Caesar's tumor. Oh, and also learn how to fight like a centurion from Lucius. The ghouls living in the vault weren't actually that hard. The only challenge was trying not to die from rads, because I had taken the Rad Child perk because it is such a good form of healing, especially for unarmed, and since I can't use any rad away, because Legion members don't use drugs, I was stuck in the mud. But I mean, it's fine. I got the auto-dock part, I got out of there. No harm, no foul, didn't die. It's all fine. Oh shit. With Caesar's tumor removed, it was finally time to kill the president. This would be the most grueling, horrific, and challenging thing I have ever done. Huh. Neat. With Kaiser singing my praises and a random slave I found killed, it was finally time to begin the endgame. So that meant ratting up and meeting with my favorite man behind the mask, Legate Lanius. At this point in the game, with a power attack, I could one-shot a regular NCR trooper, so most of the damn gameplay isn't very interesting. I did free the Legion soldier reinforcements from the tower, And I did kill a bunch of troopers on the way to General Oliver, but other than that, I basically just spent most of the Hoover Dam battle just beating him and his men to a pulp. What was infuriating, however, was that a singular NCR veteran ranger that had gone downstairs, unbeknownst to me, had lulled me into a false sense of security and led me through all of the traps, which I was not prepared for. The only thing better than that was that in Legolanius's end speech, a random NCR heavy trooper with a super sledge was about to blow man's brains out from behind, but unfortunately the power of talking made him freeze frame, so Now, it's finally on to the DLC section. I've made up a little rule that for each of these challenges, I will spin a wheel, and then whichever DLC it lands on, I will do that DLC for that challenge. And let me just say, it was almost terrible. That was close. Oh, but before that, I just have some business to attend to. Owl Blue is probably one of my most favorite DLCs for New Vegas, and that's mainly just because of how quirky the characters are. But I'm going to make this real quick for you, because this video is already getting pretty long. I began by getting the X2 antenna because it is by far the easiest to, so that was easy to get out of the way immediately. All you had to do was just climb a satellite dish. And then I just used the whole perimeter thing to teleport instantly back to the sink. On my way to my next destination, I picked up a Saturnite Fist, would be a great improvement for my current arsenal, and I, yes, would consider it to be a Legion weapon because it is a type of power fist. Arriving at the X8 Research Center, I took a quick little stop to help a couple of Night Stalkers achieve their dreams of flying around headless. Let's just say it only lasted a couple of seconds, but I hope they enjoyed it. Maintaining my brisk pace, I beat everything into submission until I had retrieved all 3 student records. At this point in the run, I was so good with my fists that Gabe didn't even stand a chance, and so it was only a matter of time before I took his voice so that I could use it for my sonic emitter. In fact, Gabe was so weak that the Robo-Scorpions right outside of his pen were actually harder to kill than him. Beginning the advanced institutional test, the only difference between this and the last one was that I just had to access this terminal to take down this ray. That's about it, so it just devolved into more punching and killing. At this point, I was level 18, so I just took the adamantium skeleton perk so that I could, stop breaking all my limbs. After doing some quick reading, and then picking up the Autodoc Sync voice module, I then beat on a group of cancer patients before heading to the final facility to get what I needed. After assembling the stealth suit, I sneakily snuck around, not getting detected by anything. Oh, fuck. Ahem. After combining all of the pieces to make the stealth suit, I sneakily snuck around, not getting detected by anything, until I had my sweet reward. Informing them that I had discovered all of their technologies and brought them back to them, I was then promptly informed that I would need to go into the Forbidden Zone and kill Dr. Mobius. On my way to pick up the sink and the fertilizers modules, however, I unfortunately fell to my death. But don't worry, it was the only time I did this. Entering the Rad Scorpion fight, I was very promptly informed that my high rads would mean that a single blast from his tail would instantly kill me. Cowering away to the sink, I would use the Autodoc to get rid of all my rads so that I didn't die immediately, and then returning back to the Rad Scorpion fight, I would use his radiation tail to actually power me up, meaning that whenever he did damage to me, I just immediately healed it back with Rad Child. Using this method, I was then able to circle strafe around the Scorpion and whittle him down with my chainsaw.
Huh? Yo! Hello there! You are there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am here. With that out of the way, I took back my brain by force, and then went to go beat the other nerds in.
Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
And with that, the answer to can you beat Fallout New Vegas as Caesar's Lapdog is yes. Yes, you can. Well, now what?